A lot of times, just to speak about the kind of structure of the piece, when we talk about three plays happening simultaneously, people imagine a sort of three-ring circus where maybe the things are happening in three different worlds on stage. And actually, the pieces are happening in an integrated physical space at all times. And so what happens with that is people often think, well, how do you listen to a piece like this? How do you hear if three things are happening at once in the same space? And really, the way to listen to this piece actually does involve a kind of gestalt listening. You're listening, perhaps as you would listen to a symphony or a piece of complex music, where you're opening up and letting it wash over you in a way. And impressions and feelings and snippets of text will come in to your understanding, and hopefully, in our experience, you get a sense of the whole. You get a sense of starting to hear those connections. And sort of like when you go to see a foreign film and you're looking at the subtitles at first and it maybe seems a little bit strange, but then 10 minutes in, you suddenly forget about all of that. You realize you're not thinking about any of that and you're just following the story. That's kind of what happens with this piece. In addition to that, there are moments in the play where an event in any one of the three plays is so kind of pivotal or large that we focus exclusively on that event for a period of time. So Cinderella's ball, for instance, the ball she attends and meets the prince, that moment in the piece the ball is attended by all of the characters in all of the plays. And so that's the central event. The banquet that the Macbeths hold, where Banquo's ghost appears, is a central event in that story that everyone in all of the three plays participates in. So there are sort of islands within the piece where one event is focused on, and then the plays reintegrate after that. So there's a lot of different listening textures to the piece. There's a lot of different visual textures. It's a very controlled piece. And so we've worked very hard over the years to make it actually very accessible in the listening. The audience shouldn't have to work hard, or it shouldn't be just sort of an intellectual exercise in any way, because, of course, the origin of the piece came from the notion of taking these three pieces of populist theater, three very accessible pieces of storytelling, and putting them side by side. In their original forms, all three of these pieces were meant to be entertainments for mass audiences. And Medea, Macbeth, Cinderella aims for that as well. So we actually really have as our desire that it's quite entertaining and very, very accessible, even though in its form, it's different and unique. I think that people, anyone who is, of course, a theater lover, should come and see Medea, Macbeth, Cinderella, because we often talk about how it really, truly is a love letter to theater. It celebrates all the things that make theater a unique art form and an enduring art form. And if audience members are familiar with each of the three plays going in to see this piece, that's certainly a wonderful thing, and we encourage people, to do that. However, if, for instance, they're not familiar with one or more of the stories, we believe that over the course of watching the piece, the stories are made clear and can be viewed without any prior knowledge of what they are specifically. So it really is, again, an endeavor that we believe is fun for all ages, and something in it for everyone, and lots of entertainment to be had in a very, very special and unique kind of way.